left City Point and steamed up, and found out there was a very strong fort some 2 miles above, so we anchored for the night. Soon after anchoring, we spied a lot of rebel sharpshooters skulking along the shore, but they did not come close enough to do any damage. All the ships sent a guard of pickets on shore and kept them there watching all the night, but they did not show themselves, and this morning at daylight the pickets were called in. Soon after, it was all a man's life was worth to go out on deck. Everybody was kept below. The Roostick and Port Royal opened fire with their howitzers and kept firing until we were all ordered to move forward and attack the battery. The Galena, being the flagship, took the lead and all the other ships followed her. It was necessary to keep a man throwing the lead all the time for fear they had filled up the river, and we had hardly started when their sharpshooter shot the man that was throwing the lead on the Galena. Another man was put in his place and they soon picked him off, so the ships all commenced to shell the banks as we went along, and in that manner got within range of the fort, when the hot work commenced in good earnest. The Galena proved a perfect failure, and we were the only boat that could get up close to them, but they could have fought us for a week, as we have but 2 guns, while the rebels had guns as large as ours, and any quantity of them, so it would be useless for us to fight them alone. The Galena proved no better than a wooden vessel, every shot going through her sides. I could count 17 holes in her side as she lays near us. Our boat has just come from her, and the men there say there are 7 killed and 20 wounded. Our doctor has gone to her to help dress the wounded. I am glad I was not on her. I don't think there will be any more Galenas built.
Thursday, May 15, 1862 was rather cloudy after smart rain last night and likely for more today. Some light showers fell. While my mess was at breakfast, we heard the expected signal musket fired. We could see the 5 gunboats in the reach below, and very slowly making their way toward us, firing some guns to right and left toward some pickets in the field on our side. Captain Farrand, the naval officer, ordered us not to fire until he gave the word. Then we waited with bated breath. Meanwhile, we got our guns to station at gun number 2. As soon as the last boat took position, Captain Farrand shouted, "As soon as you get a chance, fire on them!" We ran the gun in battery, and I pointed it, aiming at Galena amidship, about halfway up her shield, ran to my point of observation. We continued to pelt the flagship, Galena, trying to penetrate her armor, which we finally did at the waterline. Thus the unequal struggle went on for 4 long hours, and it looked sometimes like they would finally overcome us. But many a secret prayer was offered up to heaven from anxious, if not faithful, hearts to the ruler of the universe, and God was very good that day, for not a man of the company was seriously hurt.
Now, at the time of the Battle of Drewry's Bluff took place, this fort here had only been under construction for a very short time, so it was only partially completed. The Federal fleet began advancing up the James River on May 11th. By May 15th, they had made it to here. They anchored up only about 600 yards downriver from Drewry's Bluff. The main ships leading that attack were the U.S.S. Monitor and the U.S.S. Galena. Now, they quickly found out that the Monitor's guns couldn't elevate high enough to shoot up at this bluff. It's about a 90-foot bluff above the river here. The Monitor's guns couldn't shoot up that high, so the Galena basically bore the brunt of the battle. The Galena anchored up broadside in the channel at about 600 yards downriver, and for 3 hours and 20 minutes dueled with the guns here at Drewry's Bluff. One of the men on board, a Marine named John Mackey, was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions on board the Galena. He was the first Marine to win the Medal of Honor. That was the Battle of Drewry's Bluff. That was the farthest approach the Union Navy would make towards Richmond for the entire war. In theory, they could have ended the war in 1862 had the Navy been able to get up there and bombard Richmond.